stereo. Live in stereo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of the RawCast. As always, I am RawTactics, joined here with TrueBlue. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. Looking forward to this podcast and hopefully talking gaming and all sorts of other stuff that accompanies it.
Yeah, I'm like semi-transparent right now. You can see me. I gotta get this lighting fixed in the green screen room. Like, this is ridiculous. Whatever, though, we're gonna make it work. So it has been a week since we last spoke. If you don't mind, I'm gonna start off with what I've been playing. We beat Fallout London, and my God, once again, like, I don't mean to sound like a jock writer, but these people deserve a round of applause. They truly have earned a round of applause at this point. Um, we'll touch more on Fallout London in just a moment, but aside from that, uh, what have we played? We played Mafia Definitive Edition. It's been fun to hop back into there. Mafia is a really, really good franchise in my opinion. The first one is my favorite. My wife and I have really fond memories of that game as well. She really enjoyed it. Aside from that, that's really all I've played the past week or so.
Yeah, it's funny you should say, like, I've not actually played Mafia, and it's like, I mean, the game itself is huge, and I've watched videos of it. I really should like delve into it at some point. I mean, how many is there? I think is there three? Is there
Yeah,
three?
there's
Correct me
three
if I'm
of them right now. One is a bit more smaller scope. It's a remaster. Came out on the original. The original came out on the PlayStation 2. Excuse me. And then Mafia 2 came out, I believe, PlayStation 3 era, if I'm not mistaken. And Mafia 3 came out on the PlayStation 4, so it was like one for the past few generations.
Yeah, I've not, like I said, I've not played them, and like I have followed them, and from what I've seen, they've scored like high reviews, and they've got a lot of praise. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
something I might have to look at after I've like cleared my Steam my Steam backlog, which it's never ending, man, honestly. But ironically, going on to that, I have not been able to play many games because of, I think we've touched on it off stream and stuff like that, Rob. But yeah, no, I've started my new job and stuff like that, and it's quite intense getting used to the new hours and stuff like that. But yeah,
Right.
that will be getting rectified. I will be gaming soon. But I have been following. I think I touched on it last week with Delta Force, and that seems to be like sort of exploding in terms of the FPS side of things. Like a lot of people are saying it's a Battlefield clone and stuff like that, but it's well, it essentially is. There's a lot of aspects from Battlefield, but that's a good thing, right? Because the Battlefield franchise is well renowned, like for being a class multiplayer game.
Right.
Depending on when you started playing it, it could have been back in the days of Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3 and 4, but then going on to like the likes of Battlefield 1 and 5, and well, no touch on 2142 because 2042, sorry, because that's a mixed bag. It's in a good state now, but it didn't launch well. But yeah, I've been following Delta Force, and they've just implemented a new conquest mode, which like gets the thumbs up for me because conquest is always like the staple of Battlefield. Do you know what I mean? That's the main mode. You get your breakthroughs and that, but I'm always a conquest kind of guy.
Yeah,
So
for
I've been
sure.
following that,
For sure.
and I'm gonna try and get some hours in potentially after the stream. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing that, and also again I've been following is Space Marine 2. So I played the first one, which I really liked. For those that didn't have the privilege of playing Space Marine 1, it was like pretty much a third person shooter where you play as, Warhammer 40k Space Marine against multiple like armies of orcs just coming at you. It's like it's a fun shooter. But yes, they're going to be releasing Space Marine 2, but it's been delayed. I think it's November and it's coming out. It was supposed to be October, I think, but it's been delayed till November if I'm right. But essentially, yeah, like I said, Warhammer 40k universe, and it's just like huge, large scale battles. You're playing in third person. It's actually incorporated co-op now as well, so you can play with, I think it's 2 other friends as well. So yeah, I
See.
mean, getting. I'm all about the co-op. I do like a bit of co-op in terms of my shooters, but yeah, that looks like a fantastic third person shooter that I will be getting into. And if you're a proper, I'm not a proper Hammer 40k elite. I follow it here and there, but when it comes to lore and stuff like that, I'm kind of sketchy. But yeah, it's a fun game where you could just jump into. But yeah, that's the sort of games I've been looking at. But I hope to be playing more games, and come next week I'll have a more detailed sort of analysis of what I've been playing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, life gets in the way, man. I already know you're good.
Yeah, it does, man. It does. It's like right now, it's pretty hectic. But once I get nailed down in my job and like finish my training, get my feet under the table and all that sort of stuff, then hopefully I can get tore into my my Steam backlog.
Yeah. Yeah, chat's been wanting me to play a whole bunch of different stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to implement on the channel, but my God, man, like I miss the days of like high school. I miss not having responsibilities. Like,
Yeah, man, I
good
know.
God. I wish I could just game.
It's just getting back to high school and then like forgetting. Like, it's like never mind dinner, never mind food. It's like
Right.
straight
Right.
on your Xbox or PlayStation or whatever you were playing. And it's like, yeah, let's get smashed into this, whatever you were playing.
Let's see here. We got, I guess, hopping back to Fallout London.
Yeah.
Bro, we beat Fallout London earlier. Morning to you, Void. Glad to have you in here with us. Uh, we beat Fallout London on stream. Void was there for that. Myself and the others in chat all said, like, immediately, the ending of that game, the ending slide specifically, gave me that feeling I got the first time I beat Fallout New Vegas. I have not had a game give me that kind of feeling in a long time, and I'm gonna try to explain to you. I
Right.
was
Well, if
true.
you're gonna, sorry to interrupt, right? But don't spoil it for me,
No, no, no,
please.
no. No spoilers. Okay, it's just that it ends with slides like New Vegas, right? I,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say I'm not gonna give you any spoilers as to story aspects, but it made me want to go back and replay it like right now. I want to go
Sure.
back. I want to make different decisions. I want to see what happens with this character. I want to see what happens with this faction. I want to engage with like the factions that I didn't engage with. I want to further develop bonds and stuff. Like it made me want to go back and replay a game immediately after beating it. And I have not had that feeling with anything in so very long. Like after I beat a game, I've gotten to the point to where it's like, okay, either I'm gonna start modding the crap out of this and change it to a completely different experience, or I'm probably gonna sit it down for a couple years and revisit it at some point. But
Mate, I'm
this
so
was,
glad.
go ahead.
Sorry, Cut. I'm so glad you said that because that it's basically what you just said, what you touched on in terms of like the New Vegas and all that. I wanted to go back all the way back and I don't know, like join a certain faction. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you wanted, if you had that little itch to play as the evil character, you clearly wanted to join or like faction up with the with Caesar's Legion and stuff like that, didn't you? But
Right.
I think my first playthrough was like NCR. I kind of went NCR route, but no,
Yep.
that fills me with a lot of sort of that it's good feel that's good vibes that is because if when I finish it eventually, that's exactly what I want. I want to go back. I want to say, but what happens if I did this? What happens if I did that? And that's what makes the Fallout games great, isn't it? So having
Yeah.
that having that as an ending. Obviously, I don't know the ending. Hopefully, I won't find out. But the what do you call it? That sort of aspect where you're dying to go back and go right. I want to do this now. I want to do that. Having that game, the longevity of the game, should I say, is something that I really like, especially when it comes to the not just Fallout games, but like the Bethesda games in general. Like you want to play a game again, go down a different route. I'm like that with any RPG, to be honest. But no, that fills me with a lot of confidence and kind of makes me want to finish the game. But I'm taking my time right now. I'm that guy, Raw. I think I said to you already. I'm the side quest guy. I get so
Yeah.
distracted. Do you know what I mean?
We did a fair amount of side questing. Bro, that save right at the end, we had 2 days and like 10 hours, 2 days, 9 hours, something like that on that save file. And we just
Hmm.
now beat the game. And there was so much, there's areas of the map we have not been to. There's factions we did not engage with. There's whole quest lines that were failing because of certain choices we made. Like there's still so much content that we have not seen and done. The fact that
Yeah.
I could get over 2 days of gameplay out of this mod, like that is crazy. Like on a single playthrough and still have so much to see and do. And it all feels engaging. That's one thing
Yeah.
that we were definitely talking about. Not everything is perfect. It's not 100% perfect. There are times where you're doing little fetch quests and you kind of do some fast traveling around. It can get kind of repetitive here and there, but not on the level of Fallout 4, in my opinion. Like this definitely harkens back again. Another way that it harkens back to New Vegas. Like the quests were all engaging. The stories really mattered. The companions, the factions, like I wanted to learn more about them. I wanted to find more notes. I wanted to find the extra terminals. I wanted to kind of slow down and observe the scenery. I wanted to take just take the world in. I wanted to be engrossed in it, completely absorbed into it.
Totally, man. And I'm glad you mentioned terminals there because that was one of like see the I think it was Vegas, Fallout 3, Vegas, and Fallout 4. I think when I finished both all those games, should I say, I think the first thing I did, I was always curious about the vaults. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All the vaults in the different area.
Yeah.
So like when I finished the games, I would go to each vault individually and literally scour the whole vault for as much information as I could to find out what was going on in there. Like I was genuinely interested, like what I mean, finding the terminals, finding the backstories. I think I mentioned it before, like the Fiends Vault in New Vegas was
Yeah.
it Vault 3? Yeah, Vault 3, I
I
think it was.
believe so.
That fascinated me. So I was in there like looking for everything, every scrap of information, and that's just me personally. But I like doing that, and just finding out all the extra bits of lore and before you know it, you're like, oh man, I made that decision in the previous game, and I wish I didn't if I knew this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of
Oh
it's one
yeah.
of those ones where you start feeling guilty about your decisions. It's like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that if I knew that. But that's the kind of I like the attention to detail and the intricacies of all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, it's
Yes.
it's really good. But that what makes to be fair, that's what makes a good game, and I think that's what London really nails in terms of the attention to detail, the intricacies, and you could tell the dev team actually did a lot of research in terms of keeping up, making it all make sense essentially, innit? It's just making it all
Right.
come together. Every faction's got their reasons for doing what they're doing, and it's all explained to you, and it's explained why they're having beef with another faction and all that sort of stuff. That kind of goes with all the other Fallout games as well. Do you know, like from when it comes to factions like the Brotherhood of Steel, NCR, and the
Right.
Enclave. Do you know what I mean? It's all explained, but it's really good. That's what I really like. But again, going back to what you're saying about the slides and stuff, and the replayability factor, that's really really good. So I'm really encouraged by that, and hopefully I'll finish it soon and delve back into it and find all those little secrets and Easter eggs.
We still gotta go back. I gotta finish the Cthulhu dolls, bro. Like,
Oh
do you
yeah,
know about the Cthulhu dolls and the whole like?
yeah, man. I saw you doing it on stream. I saw you
Okay,
found one.
got you.
Because
Gotcha.
I pointed it out to you. I think I pointed it out to you because you're like, "What's this?" And I double checked it, and it was like, "Yep, Cthulhu dolls." But I didn't know the
Gotcha.
importance of them or the relevance. But yeah, apparently, what were you saying? You need to collect them all.
Not all of them. You gotta get 16, and I don't want to give it away if you don't know anything about it. But
No.
once you find a few, like once you find a certain amount of them, you should get a quest pop up immediately that says to start doing certain things. And there's a couple locations that you can visit. I just found this out today. Visiting one of these locations and clearing out this dungeon area can actually unlock or like initiate one of the missions for you that will guide you somewhere else and start you on the Cthulhu mission.
Ah, right, cool, right. So I was completely oblivious to that. I didn't know that at all. I
Right.
just thought they were little collectibles, but they obviously mean something.
I don't know about the Azathoth dolls. I don't know if those have any relevance. Like, obviously, there's some type of Cthulhu type mythos doll, but I don't think they have any mission tied to them like the Cthulhu dolls do. But I guess that's still
Yeah.
to be determined.
Like, so if anybody's got anything in chat that knows any more, hit us up, let us know, like in
Yeah,
chat, and if
please, please.
yeah, or even leave a comment on the video itself or whatever, because we're genuinely interested. I've not looked into it, but it'd be nice because I know there's more hardcore. Like, well, when it comes to lore, there are people out there that are
Right.
really really into it. So yeah, and any advice to give to me and Raw would be appreciated.
Uh, well, obviously you really love the mod. I love the mod. It seems like the general consensus about this thing is like we're all giving it 9, 10s out of tens, like ranking it crazy high.
Yeah,
IGN released an official review of it and they scored it a 7 out of 10. Like, granted, I care about as much as what they have to say as they care about what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
but still, it is. I guess it's interesting to see it from a different person's perspective, but some of the points that they made against this, like I said, they ranked it a 7 out of 10, and their biggest issue summed up. Uh, I'm sorry, let me pull one line. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, just as you. Yeah,
Fallout
go on.
London is a massive mod that makes good use of its untapped setting. Within a with an impressive scope and some great stories, you'll just have to be prepared for technical issues and occasionally obtuse design choices along the way. So I started reading into it and seeing exactly what they were talking about, and the biggest issue that they had with the mod, it really just kind of invalidates the whole article because they wrote this before the update. The latest update that was put out like a week or so ago at this point implemented the buff out 4 integration and then the other. I think we actually talked on about this on the last stream, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah,
So
we
it's been
did, we did.
over a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that update made it even easier to, well, one, install and upgrade the game and fixed a lot of stability issues. And their biggest thing was that you have to manually install buff out 4 and a couple other fixes, and you have to go in and mess with files. Like, this was written before that update even went live, and they just now published it. And those kind of points are already irrelevant now.
Yeah, it just shows you. I mean, I kind of gave up. I mean, I'm not gonna. This isn't gonna be well, it is a little bit. I'm gonna bash IGN a little bit because I don't. I'm that person that I'll look. I'll read the review, right? I'll read the review, but I'll take it with a pinch of salt because I'll
Yeah,
be
for
like, right,
sure.
I'll make my own opinion of this. I'll take into account what they've said or what they've written, but then I'll go into it and delve deep. But the one that really, like off stream, I was talking to you about it. But the one that really killed me was Alien Isolation. Now, Alien Isolation is an incredible game. It's incredible. It's like one of the best sort of it's probably one of the scariest games I've ever played. Like for like horror games, like with the
Gotcha.
jump scares and immersions. Like the aliens AI, like it comes at events. Like it's never the same. It's never the same sort of linear pattern. The alien does different stuff and all that. And I mean, that experience was incredible. Everyone else was raving about it. I was raving about it. My friends were raving about it. Other um, gaming journalists were raving about it, and they gave it. If I remember right, it was in the fives. They gave it 5.9 or something like that, and I was like,
Jesus.
that is outrageous. That is one of the most. That's probably the worst review I've ever seen, like written by, and of course it was IGN. So I thankfully played the game prior to reading that review. So when I seen it, I was like, it's just nonsense. I was like, whoever wrote this, it seemed like he hadn't actually played the game or was going off someone else's like
Right.
information. It was
Right.
just one of those. But again, I'm not going to go into a big rant about IGN. I just thought the point is the point I'm trying to make is like just don't just do stuff for yourself. Have a look at it yourself. I mean, obviously read the reviews, be open-minded to games, and have a like a broader basically don't be narrow-minded, and also if
Right.
you know don't take people's opinion as gospel, I guess, especially, and also don't take the reviewers from IGN's opinion as gospel as well, or review, because you're not going to get anywhere. It's like, go into games with an open mind. But yeah, again, this sound I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but what Raw said about London, the score, and then having the mod, like they're slating the performance basically, and with the sort of bugs that came about, but were already fixed. There was no mention, right, which really grates me. There was no mention of how Fallout London, the dev team, like how they set up the support network to sort these bugs.
Right.
It gave you, they had it in Discord where you had one-to-one service and all that. There was no mention that at all in that review. And what you said, Rob, was absolutely correct. They released the review. All this stuff had already been fixed. And to be fair, a lot of it was quite. If you followed the instructions, it was quite simple to do. It wasn't really
Yeah.
that much of a pain. However, that being said, they've rolled out the update, and the update is to fix all these issues is so simplistic, it's unbelievable. So yeah, the fact that they've not mentioned that in that article is a bit criminal, and a bit for them to downgrade it a little bit just because of these issues that have been sorted. It just doesn't make sense, and it's poor. To me, that's poor reviewing by IGN. But yeah,
Like
there you
Void
go.
said, he's in chat right now, said this is standard operating procedure for IGN, and gaming journalism is a joke anymore, like for sure. It's just, it kind of
Yep.
sucks. Like we touched on briefly on stream, and like I was discussing with you a moment ago, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like we know to take all this with a grain of salt. We kind of just look into this more for our own personal interest than anything else. It's not anything that we're gonna take and like set in stone. Okay, this is. It sucks for the people that don't really know any better, and the people that are a little bit more narrow-minded or just don't have enough knowledge to form their
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
opinion on something. They see someone else's opinion, like, okay, this is a gaming journalist. They should know a little bit about what they're talking about, or they know more than I do. So if they say that it's only a 7 out of 10, then it's nothing special. Like,
Yeah.
like you were
I
saying with
know.
Alien Isolation, right? Like, someone saw that at a 5.9. I'm probably not even going to play that game if I'm judging it just based off of that. Like, I'm not paying full price for it at least. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't. Yeah, absolutely. And I can't state highly enough how ridiculous that score is, because that game is a masterpiece. Like it's one of the best horror games I've ever played.
Found the
Honestly, I
soft spot,
genuinely.
huh?
Oh man, I swear to God. I mean, if I was to meet up with that writer, I'll just be like, "What are you doing, mate?" It's like, what's going through your head? It's like, are you actually played this game? It's like, I'm getting angry now. It's like ridiculous. It's just a joke, but no, you get what I'm saying. In terms of the sort of games that I'm talking about, like your horror jump scares where you're trying to
Right,
survive, like your
right.
Outlast. You've got Alien Isolation, obviously. You've got those games where it's really really tense. You've got your headphones on. If you really want to go for it, you've got the lights off. I've done that. I wouldn't advise it because you need a pair of trousers nearby or a pair of pants because it's absolutely terrifying. But that game is I think Alien Romulus has just come out. I'm going to potentially. Came out yesterday in the UK in the cinemas, right? I'm a massive Aliens fan, right? So I'm going to see that at
Oh,
some
they
point in the
did,
next couple of
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was maybe going to touch on that later, but yeah, that's come out. But that film has Easter eggs from Alien Isolation, right? So
That's
they've
crazy.
taken stuff. Yeah, they've taken stuff from Alien Isolation and implemented it in Alien Romulus. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like little set pieces in the set
Right.
that you'll see from Alien Isolation. But again, I don't want to go too into. I've not even seen it, but I've just I've watched some spoiler-free reviews, not IGN, just saying, right? um, but I have watched a lot of them, and yeah, the sort of reviews are very very positive. Again, I'm going to going into it with an open mind. Big Aliens fan and stuff like that. But a lot of people have been saying it's the third best Aliens film. So the
Nice.
top two are obviously Alien and Aliens. In my opinion, Aliens is the goat. It's my favorite movie ever. But the apparently it's better than Alien 3, and Alien 3 was deemed as average, I guess, by a lot of people. Not the greatest, and everything after that was pretty rubbish. Going from the general public and what they perceived it as. But this is apparently really, really good. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying, that they've taken, that's how highly they've looked at they've looked at Alien Isolation and sort of the how they've done it with the sort of scare factor, and they've taken aspects of that and put it into the film, which it speaks highly. Again, if you have not played Alien Isolation, go out and buy it. They're not giving me any money, right? But just go out and buy it. If you want to be, I'm trying not to swear here, but if you want to be very, very scared, right? I'm going to say very, very scared. Buy that game if you're into getting jump scared and playing an immersive horror game. Get that on your list. You'll be able to get it proper cheap now on Steam, I guess, as well, because it's quite an old game.
On
But
that
yeah, it's
note,
still.
this was not on the itinerary, but on the note of being scared, on the 22nd, Epic Games is giving away the Callisto Protocol. They're giving that away for free.
Oh wow, right.
That's actually kind of a big hit in my opinion. Like, I know the game wasn't received all too well. A lot of people were wanting it to be Dead Space, but it wasn't Dead Space, and it kind of fell flat in some aspects. But I mean, on the note of jump scares, like, that's a pretty big title for them to be giving away for free, because Epic's been on a bit of a losing streak. Like, it's nice to see something decent being given away at least.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's I mean, I'm into my jump scare games. I like them. I like the not so much. I was going to touch on like the Resident Evil series. They're not really jump scary, but you know what I mean. These ones are more like survival horror, aren't they? But you've not got many weapons, like Alien Isolation, for example. Again, I'm going to touch on it, but it's not. You've not got a firearm as such. You're mainly running around trying to hide from the alien and like use your environment. Same way like Outlast, and I do like those kind of games. There's a new one actually coming out, War of the Worlds. That's in development. I don't know if you're aware of that one,
War
Rob, but
of
I'll
the
touch on it.
Worlds. That is a
Yeah,
old movie.
yeah, so I mean, like if you're talking old movies, like I think it was the original. You're probably thinking of Tom Cruise, right? You're the Tom
Yeah,
Cruise
I know
version.
that was based off of an older movie though.
Yeah, by H.G. Wells. Well, it was an adaptation by H.G. Wells, but yeah, I really like that. The War of the Worlds with a lot of people don't know the story. It's like basically a Martian attack from Mars. They
Right.
land in cylinders, and if they've not seen the Tom Cruise movie, but it's basically the story is supposed to be set in England, but typical America Americanized it, got Tom Cruise in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
but
alien
that
attacks always happen in the US, bro. Guaranteed. 10
oh
times out
man,
of 10.
you've got it, man. Like Independence Day, the lot. Do you know what I mean? Everything.
Yo,
But
every
yeah,
one of them.
but the game itself is a survival horror, and it's kind of like if you think like DayZ, but the Martians are there, and it's open world, and you're basically trying to survive for the longest. The military come in and they're fighting the Martians and stuff like that, while you're trying to go from house to house, collect food and weapons and stuff, whilst fending off other players, multiplayer PvP sort of stuff. So that's something
Right.
that I'm really interested in. I just thought I'd touch on that as well. That's something that I completely forgot about. That's another one I'm following. But yeah, the horror side of things, like Ross says, that the game, what was it? What was it called?
The Callisto
Completely forgot it.
Protocol.
Yeah, if you're getting that for free, then that's a no-brainer, right?
Right. Welcome in, bud. Good to have you here with us. We were
How's it
actually
going,
just
bud?
talking about you earlier today on stream, asking where you were at. Glad to have you in here today. I know our schedules are like crazy. uh, yeah, moving on with some. Don't forget the like speeches Cruz did in the past when he was top notch Scientology. Oh God, we're not even touching on that. We were talking what
War of the Worlds? Yeah.
yes, War of the Worlds. That was it. Briefly touching on that one.
Yep.
Uh,
We'll touch
let's
that.
see. Back to Bethesda, Fallout, and now Elder Scrolls. I know talking about all these different games. Are you a fan of mobile games? We're finally getting a new Elder Scrolls, everybody. It's already out. We got a brand new Elder Scrolls ready, and you can play it on your phone. They made Fallout Shelter Elder Scrolls Edition. It is called Elder Scrolls Castles. And in my opinion, like, is this necessary? Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, is it necessary?
Right. So we chat about it. So we chat about what it actually is then, Raw. Shall we do that?
Yeah, fill me in, fill us in.
Right. Okay. So it's released by Bethesda. Okay. Elder Scrolls Castle. It's a mobile game, as you've already said, that blends elements of base building, strategy, and role playing with the rich tapestry. I'm reading this, by the way, of the Elder Scrolls universe. So imagine a mix of Fallout Shelter, like you've touched on, with grand medieval feel, like for the Elder Scrolls series, should I say. You manage your own castle, building rooms, recruiting characters, and handling day-to-day affairs like resolving disputes and even handling political marriages. So yeah, it sounds very, very sort of Fallout Shelter, right? With
Yeah,
a bit more,
yeah,
right? So yeah, just like little things. Again, I'm going to touch on like, so it's got castle building and management. So yeah, players start with like a basic keep and gradually expand it by adding different rooms and facilities, a la Fallout Shelter kind of thing.
yeah.
These could be anything from like training grounds for your soldiers, libraries for your mages, or like taverns to keep morale high. You get the gist, right? Each room serves as like a specific purpose and affects the castle overall, whether it's improving your army's capabilities, advancing your research, upgrading your armor and the swords and all that sort of stuff, or simply ensuring that your citizens are happy and productive. So it sounds like kind of Fallout 4 settlement system
Right.
slash Fallout Shelter. You get to do the usual stuff like your character management. One of the most exciting aspects apparently is managing the lives of your subjects. Characters in your castles can be assigned jobs, sent on quests, or married to form alliances, sort of things like that. Characters age, have children, eventually die, so there's a constant cycle of life. Within the walls of your castle, their offsprings inherit traits, abilities, making it essential to long term about your lineage. So, that's the sort of thing. So you've got quests, diplomacies, the combat's in there, dynasty building as your character's age. You need to plan for the next generation. I mean, what do you make it, Raw? What do you make it like that
It's
sort of
Fallout
process?
Shelter 1.5. Like
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
that's really all it is. It's Fallout Shelter with the Elder Scrolls skin, and I mean I'll give them credit. They implemented on it. They added to it. But Jesus, like what Void just said, Bethesda once again delivering on what nobody asked for. Is
Yeah.
this necessary? Like this is where we're allocating resources right now. With everything else going on, with Fallout London coming up and completely showing you guys out, completely outdoing you, like man, we just talked about this on stream. I was gonna save this, but screw it. We're gonna go over this again.
Yep.
Fallout 4 is 10 years old. Skyrim is what, like 13 years old? Going on 14
That's
years old? Like,
something like that.
Jesus, man. Like, we're still easily another 5 years away from the next Elder Scrolls game, which puts us easily 10 to 15 years away from the next Fallout game. Like, Jesus Christ, some of us aren't even gonna be around anymore.
I know, I'm
Like,
worried.
like it's gonna be a 30-year gap almost, like a 20 to 30-year gap between Fallout 4 and Fallout 5 if they continue at the rate that they're going right now. Like, why? No one wants this mobile BS. Like, you've already implemented Fallout Shelter. Like, push out an update for that. If you want to add these extra layers, like whatever, cool, do that. But good God, put all these money and resources into something that people want. Like, bring
But
old
wait, Raw.
Bethesda back.
But wait, Raw. Let's see how how Elder Scrolls Castles fits into the Elder Scrolls universe,
Oh,
right? So,
no,
you ready?
no, they. Oh, go
You
ahead.
ready? So Elder Scrolls Castles doesn't just use the Elder Scrolls name for branding. It's deeply rooted in the lore. Okay, the game is set in the same world as Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind, with references to Daedric princes, famous locations, and the complex political landscape that the fans of the series have come to love. The game also plays on the idea of managing your own piece of Tamriel, which is something fans have always wanted. Have they really? I don't know about that. While
No.
while wait a minute, wait a minute. While we've been the Dragonborn, a prisoner, or a hero in these main games, Elder Scrolls Castles lets you experience what it's like to be a ruler in this epic fantasy world. So I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of audience they're looking at there, but yeah, I'm not convinced. But I don't know about you, Raw.
Okay. Unless, do you have anything you would like to add? Is there any positive aspect that you would like to hear on this? Like, is there anything you would like to say on Elder Scrolls? What's it called? Castles?
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Castles.
Is there anything you want to say positive about it?
I don't know. I mean, I did play Fallout Shelter a little bit on my phone, right? So it was something that I did when I was bored, or I actually played it when I was in work when there was not much going on, right? So I brought it up, and I think that would be the only time I would play it, right?
Right.
Well, the new Elder Scrolls one. If I was chilling, or I was doing something, I was waiting on somebody, you know what I mean? I was just like I don't know, for example, I was sat on a train, like a long train journey or something like that.
Right.
That's when I would play one of these games. However, that's me, like a younger person. I don't know, like someone at school, or someone just chilling. They might like that. I mean, like it's all about the target audience. However, right, I think what you just said, Rob, about everyone's dying for a new Elder Scrolls game. I mean, they teased it a few years back, didn't they? The new Elder Scrolls game, and we've
Man,
still
they
not got it.
teased it before they even started working on it. They made a trailer and
Yeah,
they hadn't even started anything with the game yet. Like, what?
it's what
What?
you said. I think a lot of the resources in making this game could have been transferred into that, and we could have had an Elder Scrolls game a lot quicker. Well, that's just me guessing, right? Because
Yo,
I don't know who's making, like, what part of the dev team are doing this. Are these guys? I'm assuming, because if it's like quite what it says, it's going to be focusing on lore and all that kind of stuff, and make sure it integrates into the Elder Scrolls universe. You'd like to think that a lot of these guys will be working on the new one, but again, I think I agree with you, mate. I think these guys should have been just this project should have been maybe on the back burner or a little bit until we got a new Elder Scrolls game, because I mean, what Skyrim was like 15 years ago, 14, whatever it was. I think as fans of the the Elder Scrolls series, we're dying for a new one. And like you say, once they need to finish that before they release the next Fallout, right? I'm assuming. And
real
again, like you
quick.
say, that's got to be, yeah. And I don't want to. I don't want to. So I'm laughing at saying this, but I don't want a buggy release. But we're gonna get a buggy release regardless, aren't we? I mean,
Hey,
I
it's
want a
just gonna
polished.
work. It's gonna
Yeah,
work.
it's gonna work,
Real
right?
quick
It just
tangent.
works.
Boda was saying that a Prey 2 would be nice, but that was Arcane Studios. Yeah, Bethesda was a publisher, but that was developed by Arcane. Void was saying that it's possibly a fever dream. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't even played the last Prey. I don't want to say the original. You know what I'm saying? Prey 1. I haven't played that yet. It's something I
I haven't
want to
played
get
that either.
to on stream. I know a lot of people really love it, talk highly about it. He was also talking about the upcoming Judas, which is being developed by Jesus, what's his name behind BioShock? Oh my God, I'm going
I've
blank.
not heard of it.
But
I've
yeah,
not heard of this.
the guy that created BioShock. It's his next project, Judas. We were saving that. We're gonna touch on that at a later time, but that will come back about. And like you were just
Yep.
saying, back on topic, back on Elder Scrolls, we want the next game. But screw the next game, screw Bethesda, because here come modders once again. Have you seen the Skyblivion update? Like, Jesus Christ, modders are doing it again.
Well, where do we start with this? Right. Do you want me to lead with this? Because I've got a lot of
Man,
stuff, man.
take the reins, take the reins.
Right. So as we know, and like we've seen the success of Fallout
Movie,
London,
thank you.
right? Yep. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this because Oblivion. I know it's dated now, but I had a really good time with Oblivion. I thought it was a great game.
Dated
I like the
my
environment.
dated.
Yeah, yeah. So like the project itself, right, is has been in the works for a long, long time, a good few years, and the fact that it's finally close to seeing it come to life is just great. So Skyblivion, to a lot of Elder Scrolls fans, it's like the Holy Grail. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yes,
seeing, getting that the Oblivion experience, but in the sorry, Skyrim engine. Or no, it'll be the what is it? The Fallout? Well, it'll be the Skyrim engine.
it's,
Sorry, yeah, of
it's
course
the
it is.
Skyrim.
Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah. So the Skyrim engine, but for those that not be familiar, it's fan made, just like Fallout London, and
Yeah,
it's being built inside, like I said, the Skyrim engine. It's a massive volunteer-driven project, and the goal was to bring Oblivion, which came out in 2006, into a modern era with Skyrim graphics and gameplay enhancements. And it's the team behind it's the Elder Scrolls Renewal project that's been working on it for over a decade now. I've just seen that actually, a decade. So they've been working super crazy, and it's crazy to think about the amount of dedication these modders are putting, a la Fallout London. And from what I've seen so far, the trailers and update, it looks phenomenal.
yes.
They're not just porting the game over, they're rebuilding it from the ground up. So you imagine the amount of effort they're putting into this. It's going to be like it's pretty insane. So I'm like, one of the most exciting things I'm saying is like how they're modernising the game while staying true to its roots. So
Yes.
obviously, like Oblivion's had the unique charm of its vibrant world. I love the world, the open world there. Its intricate quests, its memorable characters. Fucking hell, there. So I've just sworn. That's the first time I've sworn on stream. Sorry about that.
It's
But
okay.
the reason I did that is because I was thinking about the Adoran fan. That's why I swore. Right, so you probably understand that
Oh
that's
yeah.
where we're coming. But yeah, like we're talking, it's going to be better AI, improved physics, enhanced visuals, everything that makes Skyrim great, but also with the soul of Oblivion. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be that sort of experience. And apparently they're expanding on the original content. I've heard that they're adding cut content that Bethesda didn't get to finish back in the day.
Yep.
So we're getting
Yep.
like the definitive version of Oblivion, the one that the fans have always wanted. Well, the one that was always wanted, minus with the cut content. So I mean, it's like discovering a lost treasure, that isn't it? Like getting that rebuilt and from the ground up, and not forgetting it's going to be updated graphics. And
That
at the
was one
times,
thing that really
yeah,
blew my mind watching the trailer, bro. That latest trailer that they put out with the questing gameplay like 2 days ago. My God, the
yeah,
EMB setup, the lighting overhaul, the rework that they did with the lighting system in Skyrim's engine, is it has that like bloom effect to it that Oblivion was kind of like known for.
yeah,
It has that charm, but it's just upgraded to a point that Oblivion's engine can't get. Like you can go watch some of my streams. Like you used to watch my streams with me. Used to be in there when we were playing through Oblivion, and you can upgrade the mess out of it. You can make it look a lot better, but compared to upgrading the entire engine and what they've been able to accomplish, it's crazy. And one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to with this, I don't know, I haven't heard about this in a while, but I know like 6 months to a year ago, they were talking about, we all know Oblivion, they were a much smaller team. Like Bethesda was a much, much smaller team, and they had to reuse assets. They had to kind of reuse cave systems and stuff like that for different locations. Are they still going through and like redesigning some of the cave systems that were just copy and pasted and like giving a fresh spin to some of that? Do you know anything about that?
I was literally going to touch on that. Like when you started talking about the lighting and stuff like that, that's what I was going to kind of touch on. So
Oh, nice.
they've retextured everything. So they improved the lighting. They've added new models. It's a complete visual overhaul. So I'm assuming that like the cave networks and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
they'll be completely redone as well. I've actually no, well, I have seen footage of it like throughout the development, and I think that's what they said if I remember correctly. They're doing like the complete visual overhaul, but also adding their little spin to it. They'll be adding they'll be adding more life to this, like say for example the cave systems. They'll be adding like little things that make it more vibrant, make it more interactable and things like that.
Right.
They'll be doing that. But again, a little thing as well that I'm going to move on to is the combat system. So they're going to take essentially Skyrim's combat, which was half decent. I don't know if you agree with that, Raw. I thought it was the Skyrim combat itself was decent. Like you had the finishers and all that kind of stuff,
It
but
was an
that alone is
upgrade
going to
from
get you.
Oblivion for sure. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, oh yeah, like definitely. But again, like the what you said, like the chunky sword swings of Oblivion. Apparently, they're all going to be gone. We're getting the best of both worlds here, so we're
nice.
getting the sort of Skyrim combat system, but that itself, right? You're thinking the swords and shield sort of combat. But speaking of that, the magic system is getting a facelift too. So
Yes.
the Skyrim magic mechanics were a big improvement, obviously, from Oblivion. So the Skyblivion is adopting and keeping some of the Oblivion's unique spells, but also implementing in the Skyrim. So if you're a mage player, you're in for a treat, I think, with that. I think because the magic system was pretty good in Oblivion. There was little things in there, but the Skyrim one like took it up a level. So they're going to try and combine it into one, which will be really interesting to see. And like I said, for a mage player or a battle mage or whatever, it's going to be quite interesting. So I'm really looking forward to that. The world itself as well. I mean, like I said, they're redoing the whole thing. It's like I remember Citadel as being a really diverse and like beautiful setting. I think like
Yes.
the forests and stuff like that, and it was quite open. There was minimal like mountains and stuff like that. You were trying to climb over. Do you know what I mean? It was a lot of
Yes.
open terrain, and I quite liked that the dense forests and stuff. But what I've seen the footage, the forests, cities, and dungeons, everything sort of feels more alive. Like I touched on, there's going to be like more things to interact with. There's going to be more filler, if you like, in terms of the environment and that. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. It seems like it's going to be it's similar to Fallout London. It's going to be a love letter from the fans to the fans. Sorry, yeah, from the devs to the fans, I guess. What I was saying there, but yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to it, and I think there's going to be another sort of boom in terms of modded game in terms of like it'll be treated as a full release, and it'll get all the the accolades that it deserves, and well, obviously to the dev team for all their painstaking work for the year. So I really can't wait for that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm throwing it up on screen right now so you guys can see as well, see a little bit about what we're talking about, see the updated engine, the really everything. I do not own this footage that is in the background. This is from the Skyblivion website. This is from their YouTube page. I can link this in the description or in the comments if you guys would like. Just to clarify, we do not own this. This is their official trailer. This is the trailer, or the Quest showcase that was put out just a couple days ago. This game, man, like, good God, what they were able to pull off with this is crazy. It's crazy how all these modding teams just come out and just keep, not just Bethesda at this point, like, they're doing better than the games industry. Excuse me, I just got so lost for words, but these modding teams, these modding developers just come out and are doing better than the entire games industry at this point. It's really kind of, it's good to see, but it's disheartening to see at the same time, if you get what I'm saying. Because like I
Yeah,
want Bethesda to go back to this point to where I can look forward to them, but like right now, all my eyes are really set on, aside from a few specific games that we'll get to. Like I'm more looking forward to these mods. Like give me Fallout Miami. We got Fallout London. That's gonna hold me over for a long time. We have multiple playthroughs of that to go. We got the Skyblivion project. We got the Capital Wasteland project. We got Fallout 4 New Vegas, and like with this coming out, they're getting so close to being able to release this. And there's rumors right now with Fallout 3 potentially getting a remake, and some of these older Bethesda games getting a remake, remaster, whatever. Don't do it. Bethesda, just don't do it, because I am willing to bet my last dollar that this mod is gonna come out and do better than anything Bethesda could release within the next 2 to 3 years.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think you've seen what the guy's done with London, and this team seems equally capable of producing that sort of content and like quality of content. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a massive nostalgia trip if everything goes right. It's for like going back to Oblivion, Citadel, all that sort of stuff. It's going to essentially be a fresh coat of paint. With some new surprises along the way, in terms of like Oblivion, the extra content, the extra, the the combat system implemented, like combining the Oblivion and the Skyrim one. That's going to be really really good, and I'm looking forward to killing the adoring fan in many different ways. I don't know about you, Raw. I'll be doing that constant.
Oh yeah, got to take him back up to the top of Mount. Oh God. Oh, what's
Yeah, I know.
the peak, man? There's the camp up there. I know exactly. I picture it. I just can't remember the name of it.
There's so many things like going in my head though. It's like I remember the Battle of Kvatch. I mean that was at the time was really
Jesus.
really
Oh
cool.
God.
Yeah, just remember that. See how they
The
do that
first
and the
time. The feeling
yeah
of being a kid and first walking up, getting closer to the Kvetch, and then the whole sky starts turning red. It's like, what the
yeah
heck? What is happening?
yeah. I know. I mean, hopefully they nail that, there's no doubt. I think they will. They'll nail that in the Skyrim engine and stuff like that. Well, it's enhancements and stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I just think if you're excited as me and Raw about it, so I think it's just I'm really looking forward to it. I think it will be on the same level as Fallout London. Do you know what I mean? It'll be
I
on
have
that
faith in this one for sure. They've been working on this for so long, and every time they come out with something like releasing those little trailers, releasing dev diaries, whatever, like my God, the work these guys are doing is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what more can we say? But the players are really looking forward to it, and I urge you to follow. I think Ross put it up on his channel, the YouTube page for Skyblivion. So yeah, just check it out. I think that all the info is there, and it's like there's developers having a little playthrough of the game of how far they've got so far in terms of development, and that it's really interesting. So I highly recommend that.
Boyd, you brought up Cascadia, Fallout Cascadia. Is that the one where the guy is remaking Fallout 76's map in Fallout 4? Or am I thinking of something completely different? I can't remember which one that is. I know for sure I've heard of Cascadia, but I just can't remember what that one is right now. I mean, oh, we got Fallout, what, Vault 13 too. I have yet to play that, but
Yeah,
starting to make progress on the Fallout 1 remake. Like, my God, you got all these modders doing what Bethesda won't do. Like, it's kind of
you've
crazy
got
at this point.
you've got Fallout yesterday as well, which we did. We
Right.
touched on. Yeah, but that was obviously that's not getting remade into the newer engine. That was the Van Buren. That was like pretty much Van Buren game itself, but modded. But yeah, that's another one that we can look at. So there's so many. I mean, we've listed them all off, and there's so many like good development projects in the works that should tie us down until we're nearly dead, waiting on
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls and Fallout. You know what I mean?
probably.
So yeah, so I mean we've got stuff to tie us over, and it's looks like it's well from Fallout London, like I've said already. If it's this is to the standard of that, then we've got stuff to look forward to for sure.
It's nice to see all these people hard work paying off. And speaking of hard work finally paying off, did you
Yeah.
watch that 30-minute Stalker 2 demo?
Oh well, where do I
Bro,
start with that?
oh my
So
God. Please
right,
go
so
ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna so I am a massive Stalker fan. Like
Yeah.
the original Shadow of Chernobyl was like one of the games that I played through like constant when I was younger. I loved that vibe. It was like it's kind of like I think we've already mentioned it, but it's that kind of Fallout vibe. And it's a game where it's a survival game, but your ammo's scarce. The environment itself is really dark and kind of you're a stalker, you're a guy that's out basically a mercenary out looking for missions to earn cash to upgrade your weapons, and there's a main quest and stuff like that. But the main quest for the game itself, so Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, which we're talking about right now, has got like the main plot hasn't been kind of talked about as much, but it's the map size has been touched on, and apparently it's like double the size. It's absolutely huge, and I love that. As long as they get the content right, do you know what I mean? I've played loads of games where the map's huge and there's not much stuff in there to do, but
Yeah.
again, yeah, you know what I mean. It's one of
Yeah.
those ones. But I'm looking at the map, and I've seen the gameplay that you just talked about, and it looks fantastic. There's like different areas, like the swamp areas. There's like the sort of industrial areas. There's like ruined city areas and stuff like that. And it's very, very kind of like Fallout, if you know what I mean. You get that. But
Yeah.
yeah, a bit of history on it. I'll talk about. So like I said, the games Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call of Pripyat all
Throw this up
left a
on
massive
screen too.
yeah, all left a massive mark on the survival horror genre. So kind of gone back to the survival horror, but this is different. You've got, it's not so much you're fighting for your life with no weapons. This is obviously you're scavenging and things like that. So I mean, first of all, the setting, an alternative reality, Chernobyl, exclusion zone, incredibly atmospheric, eerie, dangerous, and unpredictable, which really pulls you into the world. It's got the AI system in it, which made the zone feel alive. And I'm going to touch on that. So the AI itself had other stalkers like just going about doing their business. So it was AI controlled guys that were doing exactly the same thing in the zone as you, trying to survive, doing missions, gathering resources to find weapons. So it was quite, it was quite organic. You know what I mean? It's like kind of different to, I'm going to use Fallout's random encounters as an example. You would
Right.
always bump into like a Brotherhood of Steel Patrol or something like that. But it was very like, it was very diluted. It was like they were walking about, they would do something, and then that would be that. Whereas this one was like you would have guys kind of like bots, if you like, but intelligent AI bots that were going about doing things like you were doing, like scavenging for resources and that, and it's made it a really um unique experience. But not just the stalkers, but the creatures themselves. So you've got all these different mutated creatures in the environment, and they're doing their own thing as well. And it's like a mix of RPG elements with like a hardcore survival mechanics created in a really unique experience. And I can only from the footage I've seen, I'm really excited. It seems like it's doubling
Yes.
down on all these elements. They're going to be upgrading. I'm talking about the AI. Like first off, I mean the graphics. You look at it, and it's Unreal Engine 5, mind-blowingly good graphics.
Yo.
Really visually nice. The environment looks so detailed, dynamic, and as I've touched on, huge open world that seems seamless. And here's the big one. You ready, Raw? No loading screens, right?
No
No
loading
loading
screen.
screens.
Jesus.
Right. So that's going to make the zone feel immersive. I'm looking at you, Starfield, right?
Right. Oh my God. Let's not even
But
get
yeah,
started.
yeah, I'm not going to get started. But yeah, the AI, I'm going to go back on it. It seems like it's been significantly upgraded. Uh, what I've said before, like have your stalkers going about going about their lives basically.
Right.
Makes the NPCs, the mutants, and all that very unpredictable, which is great because you'll never have the same playthrough. This again, it's going to have replayability elements to it. Even the weather patterns will react dynamically to the player's actions. I remember playing the first one, and so you would have to go into houses, kind of like Fallout when you had the radiation storms. Very similar stuff like that. You know, the zone kind of feels like a living, breathing entity, if you like. That sort of vibe you get.
Right.
But it's definitely not holding back on the horror. The mutant designs and stuff like that look terrifying. So going back to the Alien Isolation, the emphasis on psychological horror looks great. It's expect to encounter like anomalies that mess with your perception and sanity. So like they do things to you, like you start seeing things, you start, you know, you start doubting yourself to see, you start seeing shadows in the background and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. You got classic enemies returning as well. Like, I know you've not played it, but I mean these must sound terrifying to you. But it's the bloodsuckers and the controllers themselves that like I just touched on. They get into your mind and start making you see things that that start proper terrifying you. It's really good. But the teaser has all these creatures in, and it makes it even more like interesting and like disturbing for the horror element of it. But the story, the plot is yet to be revealed too much. There's like, you get the gist. It's going to be like a scavenger type game where
Right.
you've got a main plot, but you're going to be obviously you're going to be sidetracked finding resources for new weapons, all that sort of stuff. The narrative will have like multiple endings as well, influenced by player choices. Not to the extent of Fallout. Well, I don't know. I'm saying that, but it might do. But again, it's all influenced by the player's choices throughout the game. So, like in previous games, your decisions will have a real impact on the world and story. But I'm really looking forward to this game. It's going to be replayable. It's going to be an experience. Like if you're into your scavenging, your FPS shooting as well, because I've seen the gunplay and it looks very solid. But yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be again an upgrade to Shadow of Chernobyl. So I'm really looking forward to this. You want me to touch on a bit of history, Raw? But like it was the game itself was announced back in 2010, so it's been in development for a long time, but it was halted in 2012 due to various issues. But the project itself was revived in 2018, and since then it's been full steam ahead. So I know there's been hiccups with the Ukraine conflict and things like that, but they've
Right.
still managing to push it out and do things, and hopefully they are determined to deliver a game that lives up to the fans' expectations. But I'm really excited about this one. This is going to be good, and I think for you as well, Raw, this is going to be your first experience of the Stalker series, so you're going to get a full on next gen experience, if you like. I think that's going to be good, kind of like what I've just had with the Last of Us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's going
for
to be
sure.
that sort of vibe for you. But again, its release date's been pushed back a couple of times. But as of now, it's set for December 2024, I think. November, December, in between there, apparently. But fingers
Uh,
crossed. You
the
want to
Steam
just double
page
check
is
that?
saying November 21st, 2024 as of right now.
Cool. So not too far away. I
The
mean,
next
but I mean,
several months, I'm gonna be so damn busy, or so dang busy,
yeah,
man. Like, oh my God,
yeah.
we're gonna have so much content between this and like, we'll get
I,
to
th-
some of these other ones. But on
I
the
think
note
this will
of
take over.
Stalker 2, you think so?
Yeah, I
I
think
got
so.
a
And I
good
just
feeling about it too.
the last thing I'll say on it, it's going to be released on Xbox Series X and S, and it'll be on PC. And apparently, it's going to be on Game Pass from day one. So there you go.
Nice, nice. If any of you were subscribed to Game Pass, this would definitely be. I think that would be worth it on its own, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
One thing with Stalker though, I was reading into it, like doing a little bit of research for this, obviously. When you were talking about the AI being somewhat unpredictable, one thing that I love that they're doing with this AI, the best way I could kind of describe this, so like with Fallout 4 and most other role-playing games and like open world type games, whenever an enemy detects you, they just kind of like focus in on you, if that makes sense. Or like, you know how we're playing Fallout London? For those of you that have been watching on stream, and we'll be like a floor below, and they'll be shooting through the floor trying to shoot at us when they don't even have direct line of sight, but they know precisely where we are at all times. The AI in this game is scripted with an advanced AI to where it doesn't fully track you unless they have direct eyesight with you. If they can't just get a complete sight on you, they'll make educated guesses to where you might be, and they'll work as units and kind of like work around the map and work around different obstacles to figure out where you are. And then once they have direct line of sight, or one of them does, then that's when they'll start actually honing in. And I thought that was crazy. Like, hopefully I described that clear enough, but I mean, that kind of AI advancement is what we need to see. That is insane.
Yep. So you're bang on there. They had that. Not, but like you say, they're going to be advancing it with Stalker 2, but they had that in the previous Stalker games, and it was really different. Like the combat was different. You had to have your wits about you because you, like you said, they would flank, they would be intelligent, they would come around. It's kind of
Right.
like going back to Half-Life 2. This in the Half-Life series where the soldier did the flanks and that. Not
Right.
obviously to the standard of Stalker and stuff because it was later released. But yeah, that's what it is. And apparently as well, another thing is like the other stalkers will track you as well. They'll track you around the map, so they'll be hunting you like kind of like a bounty hunter. But it'll
That
be
is
in real.
crazy.
Yeah, but it'll be in real time. So like I said, there's gonna be no loading screen. So like a stalker could be like at another edge of the map, and he's got a bounty on you. So he's tracking you while a bunch of other guys that he's hired as mercenaries. Like, and they'll make a consensus effort to try and track you down and get you. So that sort of stuff. That's
It is
amazing. I love that sort of
crazy.
stuff. But like you correctly described, Roy. I mean the way they come at you in combat, it's all like line of sight. It's like not like Fallout where, like you say, they're shooting through floors or they know exactly where you are. And if you crouch and you know obviously go into sneak mode, they just
Right.
go they
Oh,
just go away and
must have
but
been the
yeah, they're
wind.
right in front. Yeah, they're right in front of you, but they can't find you. But this one, like even the early ones were pretty unique, especially the modded. Is it Gamma? That's
Yeah.
that that
Yeah.
was that was modded, and the AI was enhanced for that, and they were like they would hide behind trees. They would wait on you. They would ambush you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you think, oh yeah, I'm safe now, but they'll be sat waiting on you. And yeah, that all those sort of little mechanics and intricacies are what make a really immersive like horror stroke FPS, if you like. 'Cause you're
Right.
always going to have your wits about you, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's gonna be
But that
interesting, man. I can't wait for that game. I'm super
I th
excited.
I genuinely think this will take over your channel. You'll be playing this a lot. I reckon it will. You'll be playing this like you've been playing London. I reckon.
You know what's really crazy? This game, Stalker is set to release, well, we said the 21st.
November, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out like 3 days before my wife's and I anniversary, our wedding anniversary. And then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got pushed back, kind of swinging our way into that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got delayed until February 11th of 2025. My wife and I, our official anniversary is Valentine's Day. Like when we first started talking, it was Valentine's Day. So we got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 just a few days before that anniversary. Stalker 2 comes out just a few days before our official wedding anniversary. Like what the I'm gonna be broke. We're gonna be
Mate,
broke for months.
you're the UK term is you're going to be skint, mate.
The
That's
skint, yeah, I'm
that's
gonna be
yeah,
skint,
yeah.
without a doubt.
Surprise! I'm sure that's in London somewhere.
It probably is. I just realized all that though. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, kind of swinging our way into that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is delayed until February 11th, 2025, like we discussed. Honestly, I'm okay with it. Um, we've touched on this before, guys. Like, I'd rather see a game get delayed at this point. Give it a little extra time, give it a few extra weeks, few months, whatever you need. Just don't release a half-baked game. I think they're making the right call on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. You want a polished game, but then going back to what we said about Bethesda, you never know. Even like the
Jesus.
even the Battlefield releases and stuff like that. Like AAA games seem to be lacking that bit of polish in terms of when it comes to like finished release products and stuff. But yeah, again, going back, not going to do that. But things. I don't know about you, Robert. It's like there's little things that I want to touch on in terms of what we're kind of looking forward to. Little what we expect that's going to be new in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So
Right.
like we already knew like from the first game like it's a big open world like sort of aspect, and the first game's open world was pretty big and detailed, but I always thought there was always room for more, right? So like more towns,
Yes.
more characters,
Yes.
maybe more quests. And I think they could have maybe really enhanced the combat system because I thought it was quite janky. I know it's an older game, but I think they could enhance it in some ways, and I think they will. It was already quite complex as we've watched many of your streams, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, but making it a bit more intuitive without losing the depth would be a great move, I think. And I think they will
Yes.
do that, I reckon. Not forgetting the story as well. I've not finished the game. I know you have, Raw. The game ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, apparently. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of narrative threads that we could pick up. I mean, Henry's journey was just getting started, and there's so much potential for deeper character development. Plus, given how much effort they put into historical accuracy, I'll be curious to see which sort of real life events or figures make an appearance in the new game. That'll be something interesting as well, because I know they do the research. These guys.
Yeah.
With all the historical backdrops and things like that, the wars that were going on during that time period, it should be ripe for exploration, should I say, in the sequel, if you know what I mean, in times of like turbulent conflict and the drama, and sort of setting the perfect video game narrative, if you like. But I think they'll look at that, and they will be looking at that and looking at expanding it and making it better. Particularly the combat system, I think, in my opinion. What do you make of that?
Yeah, man, I'm ready for it. I was expecting us to get crossbows at some point in Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I was like, okay, for sure in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. The fact that they just say, screw a crossbow, here's a hand cannon. Man, I
Yeah.
can't wait to get my hands on some stuff like that. It's gonna be game changing. Like, just little
Going back to,
stuff, having such, just the more variety is gonna be so nice.
I think the AI will be improved as well. That's
Oh my
that's
God, I
without a
hope
shadow of a
so.
doubt.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
the base game, like you were saying, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 for what it is, it was really fun. The combat system can be very jank, but when it starts getting larger scale and you go into some of those larger battles where guys are just like instantly whipping around, doing like 180 turns, 90-degree turns into immediate block and then zipping around, like it gets really janky. The combat system isn't too fluid. It would be nice to see where that goes, like how much effort they actually put into developing the systems and developing the AI. I am really excited for that, and I'm just seeing larger scale battles in general is really exciting to me.
yeah. What I would like to see is like sort of not to the sort like how we've been playing Chivalry too, like maybe
Right.
implementing little bits of that, like the combat and that, making it a little more simplistic, but still having that the element of if you hit a specific point, you're gonna disable or damage their arm or leg, or that sort of stuff. So making a fine
No.
balance of like
No.
Chivalry 2 combat. No,
No. Keep it
you don't want
keep
that.
it complex. Keep it hard. Keep it that Kingdom Come Deliverance like super steep learning curve that is oh so satisfying when you get it. That is one thing I love about that game because what other game has a combat system even close to that? It is
I'm
so
saying
hard to master, but if when you go up against three guys at the end game and you can still get your butt handed to you, but when you pull it off and take on those three, four guys at once, that feeling is crazy.
No, do you not think that though that the chivalry combat, but I'm saying enhancing it to like make it like more like combining it
No,
into the no,
no,
no, you're not happy with that?
no.
No,
I don't want nothing but Kingdom Come Deliverance combat. They prove
you
that how
want
you
the
see fit, but I want it jank and I no.
you want the jank? Oh, no
I'm
chance,
just
man.
kidding. I'm just kidding. But
Man,
no,
that'll be. I'm if you're streaming that, I'm tuning out there. I remember the frustrations, man, especially with the
at
dog as well.
times. Oh, the dang dog. The
Yeah,
dog.
no, but no, in all seriousness, no, I think yeah, the combat definitely needs like improving in some aspects and that I think. But
Yeah.
going on for that, the game had good foundations anyway. But branching, I think branching dialogues would be interesting as well. Deeper relationships with NPCs,
Right.
making more info. There was still, you still made choices and stuff, but I would say like more impactful choices that would affect the game would be good. Little things where you make your character feel like he's truly part of the world. I know it was still pretty decent in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but having deeper relationships with NPCs and stuff like I know Hungry Henry will be probably interested in that. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
But yeah, I'm most excited to see how they continue the story and continue Henry's journey. And I think the standout feature will probably be the expanded world, the historical accuracy, and Warhouse Studios is a real passion for that sort of era. So I'm sure they'll deliver in something that's both educational and entertaining. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy how much attention to detail. Like, it's really the most interesting history lesson you could ever encounter. The
Yeah.
the level of detail that they put into it, it doesn't feel like a history lesson, but playing those games, it's kind of crazy how accurate a lot of this stuff is. Um, and still so engaging. And it feels like it could be a fantasy game, you know? Like, it feels so obscure to our version of reality. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think it's something definitely to look forward to. And when did you say it was? It was delayed till, was it next year or some point?
Yes. Let me verify that. Crap. Well, February 11th, 2025. And
There you
on
go.
that, there's also a note. I'm glad I did pull this article back up. A 20-minute gameplay video that will go live the following day on August 21st. That will be nice. Uh, Almost is not good enough though. We slipped to 2025. Also reveals that a new trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will premiere next week on Tuesday, August 20th at Gamescom opening night live, and then a 20-minute gameplay video will go live the following day, August 21st. So that's just in a couple days. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a full taste then. We'll get a little everything we've been talking about. Hopefully, comes to fruition, and we'll get a good look at what we come to expect. But I'm really excited to have a good look at the trailer itself and what to expect really.
I'm excited for the trailer, but that gameplay demo, my God, give me that 20 minutes of gameplay, please.
Yeah, yeah,
Please.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Get the gameplay on there, and give us a feel of what we're looking to expect.
Oh, when we did touch on this before, but they put an official number behind it now. So anyone who pledged $200 or more for the original game will receive the new game via a code in their inbox at launch. There are around 1,036 backers who are set to get the new game that way. For those of you that are unaware, if anyone is watching this and doesn't know what we're talking about, Kingdom Come Deliverance is developed by Warhorse Studio, a very small Czech gaming studio. They were pretty much crowdfunded to make Kingdom Come Deliverance, and the 1,036 people that pledged $200 or more is getting their follow-up game after the major success that was the first one. They're getting the second one for free. Like, a round of applause for them is definitely due. Like, they deserve all the praise for that.
Yep, 100%. I think they deserve everything they're going to. I think they're going to be successful as well in terms of like their new game. I think there's going to be a hit. It's going to receive, because the first one was kind of was like an underground game. You know, a lot of people didn't know about
Right.
it, but I think this one will kind of blow up, and I think a lot of people will be more aware of it, particularly with the gameplay demo and stuff like that. Obviously, what was it? What place did you say it was going to showcase? Was it
Gamescom?
Gamescom? So like
Yep.
it's gonna reach a wide audience, isn't it? And
Oh yeah,
I
for
think a lot of
sure.
people will be interested in it, particularly obviously the RPG fans and of those ilk.
I'm ready for it, man. I am super ready for it.
I know you are buzzing.
Uh, I mean, with that, that's just about all I have to cover with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Is there any other topics, any other news that you are aware of that you would like to discuss?
Nah, I mean, I said, a lot of the games that I've talked about were my main focus. Like Stalker 2, like I say, as you can probably tell, I'm really hyped for that.
Yes.
Space Marine 2 is another one. I love a bit of the third person shooters as well, especially with the co-op getting implemented. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I think we've pretty much covered, and also like Skyblivion. That's something that but everybody's going to be looking forward to. If it's on the
Right.
same sort of level as in terms of quality as Fallout London, then we're in for a treat, I think. And yeah, I think it will be. I genuinely think it will be. But no, I think that's pretty much it from my end anyway. I think we've covered quite a lot in this podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a fun discussion. If you guys have anything that you would like for us to discuss, anything gaming related, specifically Fallout, but I mean, as you can see, we have other interests. Like, if there's anything
Yeah,
you want to hear us discuss at any point, please let us know. You are welcome to join the Discord. The link is in the description below. Uh, yeah, without any
be
further, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No, sorry, I was going to say as well. Like, drop a comment in the comment section as well in our videos as well. Because anything you
Oh yeah,
want us to
yeah.
cover, yeah, just drop a comment and we always read them. We always look at them, and we'll always try and fit whatever topics that you want to discuss into our podcast. It helps us it helps not only us but also yourselves and stuff like that, and hopefully keep you engaged.
All
But
right.
yeah, just drop a comment. Make sure to like the videos. Get me and Raw out there. Do you know what I mean? The RawCast specifically, and we'll try and cover as much as we can. I'm sure you agree, Raw, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You guys already know those that have been commenting. I read everything. I try to engage as much as I can. Thank you all for being here, bro. This has been a blast. I can't wait to see what happens between here and next week. Hopefully, we get some good conversation going about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 after that goes live. I'd like to do a live watch party potentially. But
Yeah.
you guys stay active, stay healthy, stay hydrated. I'm RawTactics. He's TrueBlue. This has been the RawCast. I love you guys. We'll holler at you later.
Stay safe.
Live in stereo.